Today I am about to embark on a drive across the state of Nevada known as Highway 50. But before we can do that, I need to make sure I have everything that I need. So I'm gonna stop and get some propane. I'm gonna hit up a grocery store and then we will be on the road. I'm not sure how much, there might be quite a bit in this one. Is that all right? Cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good day. Propane, check.
Caramel hot coffee or our toffee cold brew.
Buffalo Chicken Mac Bowl with its tangy buffalo sauce, or savor the delightful combination of savory bacon and creamy ranch in our chicken bacon ranch.
There are 6 towns we'll be passing through, so I'm not too sure what to expect, and I guess we're gonna find out on this trip and in this video. Okay. All right, thanks.
Sorry about that.
Appreciate it. I guess I'll see how much I have in my tank. To check my water level, I pull up my toilet and I shine a flashlight back here on my water tank to determine how much I have left. I have a little bit more than a half a tank, which gives me about probably 15 to 18 gallons of water left. I looked up one more place to possibly get water. We're gonna see if they have it. It's another gas station up here. Well, that's lame. They want me to spend $30 to fill up water. I have at least 15 gallons. I should be fine until I can find water. I just looked, there's a place in Eureka, which is the place I'll likely be heading to tomorrow. So I can't imagine I'll go through 15 gallons in that amount of time. And I'm not spending $30 to fill up my water. I mean, why don't they just charge me $5 and I'll fill up the water, you know? So anyways, guys, we have officially left Fallon and we are headed east on Highway 50. Let's adventure together on America's loneliest road. About 30 miles east of Fallon and 2 miles north of Highway 50, you're gonna run into Sand Mountain, which is this enormous sand dune you're looking at right here. This whole sand dune area runs from over there. And I'm assuming this is Sand Mountain, which stands at just about 600 feet. And this whole area encompasses just under 5,000 acres. I'm a little nervous to take my van anywhere except this somewhat packed road and get stuck over there, so I'm gonna stay right here. We're gonna get the drone up in the air and have a look around. I'm gonna let Luca out for just a few minutes and then we're gonna get on out of here. Come on out for a minute. When I was flying that drone, there's these flies that just kept landing on my hands. Not horse flies, but maybe they were small flies. They had no regard for my personal space whatsoever. I can almost guarantee you one thing. I will never be here again. Let's go, Luca.
Like dualies with the little, like the trailer hitch, you know, on it. Like then you wouldn't have to get a CDL to drive that thing, right? But it's weird. If you're hauling something over a certain weight, I think you should have to have one in my sense.
How's it going?
It's going good. Menu's right down here on the corner, man.
Cool, I'm not here to eat. I just a basic tourist, you know?
Okay, well, basic tourists usually end up coming back if they end up eating something. So, all right, we got a mini mart straight on ahead if you want anything.
I'll go take a look, yeah. Thanks. Hey, doggo. I don't know if you're allowed in there or not. You a good doggo? Got myself a koozie and a orange Fanta. That place is known as Middlegate Saloon, I guess, or Middlegate Bar and Grill, or Middlegate Station, as it says on the sign. All right, we are off to the next spot, which is a place just down the road known as the Shoe Tree. It happened like this. On a warm desert night, a newlywed couple camping beneath the large cottonwood got into an argument. The woman, a quick-tempered sort, threatened to walk away. "If you do," growled the man, "you'll have to walk barefoot." He then proceeded to throw her shoes up into the tree and drive off to a nearby bar, where the bartender, an upstanding citizen, if ever there was one, convinced him to return to his wife. He drove back to the cottonwood tree. Needless to say, his wife was still there, and the couple managed to reconcile and live happily ever after. They returned several years later with their first child to throw his shoes up into the tree under which they had fought and reunited. The rest, as they say, is history. There's quite a few shoes on there, and I debated throwing my own shoe up there, but I only have my Crocs and a pair of hiking shoes. If I want to go for a nice walk, I won't have any shoes. All right. So far it hasn't been all that lonely. There's been a good amount of traffic coming up and down the road here, so yeah, I don't know, but we're off to the next destination, and I think the next destination is where we're going to camp out tonight. It's 4:30. It should take us about an hour to get there, and we'll probably settle in for the night. So we'll see you guys when we get to camp. And there it is, folks, Stokes Castle. So a lot of people just camp right here by the castle. There's a picnic table here and a campfire ring. Stokes Castle has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places by the United States Department of the Interior and Austin Historical Society. We'll get to this place in more detail probably tomorrow, but I went ahead and I drove up the dirt road probably a quarter of a mile, and there's really nowhere else to stay, and I am not in the mood for looking for a spot when I can stay here with these awesome views. There's a fire pit right here, which is actually made in Neenah, Wisconsin, which is very near to where I grew up. It's from the Neenah Foundry. They make manhole covers and stuff, but apparently they make fire pits too. For the evening, I am just going to settle in a little bit and probably turn the camera off for the remaining of this evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. So I'm parking this way. Hi, Luca, come here. Sorry, I didn't even know you were there. I just came out here a few minutes ago and started talking to myself on this thing, and I turn this way, and there's a guy standing right over there, and Luca's right next to him. I checked my surroundings out my van window, and I didn't see any cars, and my security system didn't catch anybody walking around or pulling up, but somebody was standing right there. Kind of freaked me out. But it turns out they parked over there. They just left a few minutes ago. So anyways, guys, good morning. I had originally parked my van that way, but then I got a little paranoid and I was like, maybe I shouldn't take up this whole area in case someone wants to come in the morning and park next to me and check out the castle. So I ended up moving the van like you see it now, so someone could back in or pull in right here next to me and take a look at this wonderful Stokes Castle. Let's read a little bit about it here. Started in the fall of 1896 and completed in June 1897 by Anson Phelps Stokes, mine developer, railroad magnate, and member of a prominent Eastern family, as a summer home for his sons, principally J.G. Phelps. After the castle, or tower, as the Stokes family always referred to it, was completed, it was used by the family for one brief period in June and July 1897. Since then, with one possible exception, the structure has remained unoccupied. Stokes Castle is made of native granite, hewn and put in place by the ancestors of people still living in Austin. The huge stones were raised with a hand winch and held in position by rock wedging and clay mortar. The architectural model for the castle was a medieval tower Anson Stokes has seen and admired on an Italian campagna near Rome. It originally had 3 floors, each with a fireplace, plate glass view windows, balconies on the 2nd and 3rd floors, and a battlemented terrace on the roof. It has plumbing very adequate for the times and was sumptuously furnished. The structure stands as an abiding monument to the men who built it, and to those who helped develop the mines of Austin. So there you have it, guys. Stokes Castle, sitting behind this chain link and barbed wire fence. And Luca is probably inside the castle right now. I really don't have any plans on this trip. I do need to get some work done on my laptop today. It is Friday, and it's the last day I really have to get anything done. And I could sit here and do it, which isn't a bad location at all. Great view. Look at this view. But I have other plans. So we're gonna be taking off here in a few minutes, and we're gonna head to a new location down the street, and we're gonna sit there today and enjoy what's there and get some work done on the computer. And hopefully it doesn't get windy out today, because that would be wonderful.
Damn ass fat, you know I'ma hug it. Blows by the truck, fuck up the budget. Cashing it in, damn I'm a bucket. OD, you know I overdoes it. If it ain't moolah, we cannot discuss it. Her name ain't Erica, she finna bust it. Her name ain't Megan, but yeah, she a style, you